So in day 3, we are going to look at quadratic equation, but with complex solutions. So it will have an I in the solution. So quadratic formula, remember, is we have it in standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, and then we're going to do x equals the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And if there is a negative, we now have an imaginary solution. So that's what we're going to take a look at here. So let's identify our A, B, and our C. So here, if A is 1, B we don't have, so it's a 0, and then C is 4. So we have x equals negative 0, or just 0, plus or minus the square root of 0 squared minus 4 times 1 times 4. A times C, and then 2 times 1 on the bottom. So we have a plus or minus, because there's no number out front here, it's just going to be the plus or minus, and then we have negative 4 times 4 is negative 16 all over 2. So that's going to give me a plus or minus I square root 16 over 2, which is a plus or minus 4I over 2, which can reduce plus or minus 2I. Let's take a look at the next one. A equals 1, B equals 6, and C equals positive 18. So x equals the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And we have negative 6 plus or minus, and we take 36 minus a 72, which would give us negative 36 underneath that radical there. And so we end up with negative 6 plus or minus, and it's take out the I and then do square root of 36 is 6, so 6I over 2. And we can reduce since all three of these have a common factor of 2. So we end up with negative 3 plus or minus 3I. Number 3, go ahead and try it on your own. And then push pause and then push play and check when you're ready. All right, so you should get your discriminant negative 56. So the I comes out, the negative comes out, becomes the I. 56, 4 times 14. So then we can take and do 2 divided by 6, or 1/3, and then 2 divided by 6, or this divided by 3 with your I radical 14, plus or minus between them. So last one here of the quadratic formula, A is 1, B is 6, C is 10, x equals the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So we end up with negative 6 plus or minus the square root of 36 minus 40, which would be negative 4. And so we can simplify that to a 2i. And then we want to simplify all three of these. And that's going to give me negative 3 plus or minus I. So down here, for the values of x and y, we kind of did this in another lesson where we put the real equal to the real, the imaginary equal to the imaginary. So my real and real there, and my imaginary and imaginary here, and then we're going to solve. So dividing by 2 here to get 8 for x, and then dividing here to get y alone, we're going to divide by a 5i, the two things that are with it. And that's going to leave me with negative 5. So go ahead and try number 2 and put the real equal to the real and the imaginary equal to the imaginary and solve. And you should get 9 and negative 4.